Hello there, people. Today is Friday, October 6th, 2017. A Friday, early in the morning, at 5:40 a.m. or something. Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, well, actually, I haven't said what the topic is about, but yeah, this video's topic is gonna be like, why are women so picky? Because a lot of them are like unreasonably, insanely picky. And I guess the main reason as to why they're picky is just that, um, like, they want to climb up uh, high enough the social ladder, like to a guy that has like more status, so that they can basically neutralize all the like misogyny and the criticism and the discrimination that they suffer, and the shameful with the being shamed into not behaving a certain way, or dating like bums or whatever, like men that are not allegedly desirable, you know especially like what the media puts out there as the ideal, like, mate or whatever. Like, what, they have a very well described ideal male that prince, that is like Prince Charming, that you, for the girls that they should be chasing after. But yeah, so girls, if you feel ashamed, that's why you don't date like average guys, and you don't like tone down your standards and stuff, because it seems like they're frightened, so that kind of like paralyzes their mind. They stop thinking, like they don't realize that, like, what the media talks about, even though it has a lot of it reaches very far into society, and it makes it look like it's like the TV channels and the movies and the radio and all that stuff, newspapers, magazines. They set a tone. They have heavy influence as to, and you think that that's the common consensus. You think that's like somehow, like, you can't understand, but somehow that's like what the majority of the people think should be like. But they're just like setting up the tone, or the gist of the stories, whatever they're publishing, like when it comes to like how a man is supposed to look to be a good like boyfriend or husband material, how he's supposed to be, look, walk, talk, act, have I don't know, like a CEO job or whatever, like a very high paying job or whatever. They're the ones who are embedding those like ideas in your head. And it's like, it seems sometimes like most of the people agree with it, because they're under that same impression, most of them, that you are under. This is just like some of the women, but it's talking to some of the women that are tricked by that, because they think that, how can those media express those opinions if everybody else didn't agree with them? Surely they would stop them, right? Well, even if they're against like sometimes they have opinions that are against the majority of society, like most of the people that you see when you go out on the street or wherever you are. Yeah, such a thing exists, where a small group of people, compared to the rest of the population, they're a small group, can hijack the media and stuff. They can like break away and then do their own thing, and then do like just transmit ideas like that through the TV and stuff, that are even like kind of like they could even be harmful to the general population. And most of the people, or a lot of people, are still under that same impression that somehow, even though they don't understand why, but somehow that must be most, like, everyone's opinion. But it's just like a um, it's just like a thin curtain of deception that a lot of people fall into, and that's how they thrive. Like, they're trying to get you to, somehow they benefit out of you working like that, like believing in that or being tricked into that. Because if you listen to those messages, then you're gonna look out for look for the rich guy, and those rich guys that are powerful guys in society, like from the ruling class, that manufacture those ideas. You're gonna be chasing after them, so that fulfills their, like, what they want. But you're actually being tricked because you think that most of the people think that way. Like, even the average people that don't have money or power. And it goes by race and all this and that shit. Like, yeah. I'm gonna run out of time here, but I hope I don't run out of time. But and my back has been killing me like crazy. For some reason, it just went away, that pain, but my back is fucking killing me, man. Like, what the hell's wrong with me? I need to get a job again. Yeah, ladies. But yeah, that's just come on, it should be quicker. Yeah, so you're getting tricked. So now, since you've been shamed into, like, not liking just average guys and shit, shooting up for, like, having, like, raising your expectations. So you've been shamed into it. Even though you might like some of those average guys, and I mean, those media are very misogynistic, just like society, and I think they should be more accommodating. There's more room for accommodation for women because they're misogynistic. But yeah, women see everything from that perspective, since they're like the weaker sex. They see that as as being like second class, like in a subjugated position. They see everything, so I don't know. They want to get a guy that'll, like, defend them against those, like, just misogyny and stuff. Alright, but yeah, I went off the tangent a little bit, but back on topic again. Yeah, some of you girls, like, since you hear that, those messages are so pervasive, and even though I don't think most of the, like, they're just kind of like ambivalent to them. Those messages, most of the population, the average people, but they'll go along with it. That's what gives them, like, a small, like, push or whatever to. Yeah, but they think the same thing, that those opinions have some kind of power behind them. That's why they're kind of cautious to, like, have opinions against them, or to go against that status quo that it's not really a status quo, but that they're trying to set or impose those media. Yeah, because you feel like it's got power behind it, so if you're gonna go against it, you better be ready to, like, fight or whatever. But yeah, it's like I said, it's a small group of people that are broadcasting those ideas, and that makes people think that, or a lot of people, that they're they have some kind of authority or power behind them, and then people just start copying those ideas, mimicking what they see on TV or whatever, to just try to blend in, and in time they'll think they'll become one of them, but most of the time they're just using you, because they're inciting people to act a certain way that's like, or think a certain way that's somehow beneficial to those people that are behind the TV channels and all that stuff. So yeah, ladies, next time, I don't know, you just it just seems like you raised your standards way up, like way too high. And yeah, hold on. Oh god. And a lot of you, even though you might like some average guy, then you still have that in the back of your head ringing a bell. And because you don't want to be ashamed of being with a normal guy, because those media have given you like a false sense of reality. Yeah, it just makes it feel like, yeah, it's kind of like terrorism, right? There's not that much terrorism going on, but since they harp on it all day on the news, it seems it kind of sometimes it makes it feel like there's everywhere, like at your, right around the corner there's gonna be a terrorist, right? But that's what they do. Yeah, they exaggerate and they blow it up in your mind. That influences people, especially people who are very inexperienced and very afraid, like women are. So, yeah, sometimes they're just afraid of like being judged and shit. That's what makes them like raise their standards so high. Because even though they might like a guy that's average or whatever, but if he doesn't fit that description that the media gave you, then you're just gonna overlook that guy. And it might happen to guys, might be the same way, but I think women are a lot more like this, or it affects them a lot more because they're more docile and stuff. But oh, God, my arm is tired. Seriously, like it's been like 12 minutes. Yeah, and I've been trying to upload videos, but I always procrastinate. Yeah, so you just raise up your standards, and instead of telling the truth or like claiming the truth, you just claim that they're not they're like beneath your standards or whatever. They don't meet your standards, people. So yeah, it's just the media blowing that up. Yeah, it might be a guy that you like perfectly well, but that's average. But if he doesn't fit that description that the media gave you, then you're just gonna spurn him or like kind of like overlook him, so because of that media influence, or that which seems like the status quo. Read up on what status quo means. It means like status quo is like not status quo, I mean common consensus, like what everybody agrees on. Like everybody agrees that's on something, that's a common consensus. But that's not that's not what the media talks about. It's not always a common consensus. It's mostly just them trying to deceive people and trick them into thinking it's a common consensus. Right? So read up on common consensus. Well, I just gave you the definition, but yeah, ladies. So instead of just own up to that the fact that the media just like you're afraid to admit that you got like a regular guy, because the media has drilled those ideas into you that he's not good enough, because he doesn't fit the way that they describe the perfect guy. So yeah, instead of raising up your standards to ridiculous levels, just admit that you're ashamed. Yeah, there should be more people trying to help you with this kind of stuff. Because it's kind of weird how nobody talks about it. Everybody's just quiet. It looks like they accept it, but I'm telling you now, yeah, a deceitful, like a thin curtain of deceit. All you gotta do is like yeah, push it to the side, see through it, whatever, see through it. Yeah, so don't just basically don't just jack up or raise your standards to a ridiculous height and claim that most of those guys that you might like but don't exactly meet the Prince Charming like standards. Yeah, don't just claim that they don't meet your standards when you're actually just you do like them sometimes. You might like them, but you're just afraid of like being criticized and shamed because you think you have a false idea of what the common consensus is, right? Yeah, you're impressionable. So yeah, ladies, let me know what you think. Write down comments below, subscribe, like this video. And yeah, I wish, if you're suffering from this, I wish I would have met you before so I could help you. Yeah, we probably live very far away from each other. Alright, bye. See you later. But yeah, just think about this stuff, ladies. Alright, bye.